Let's be honest.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have everyone who's able to stand to welcome your top table, please? And it gives me great honour to announce the new Mr. and Mrs. McNeil.
We're going to get dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the female Michael and have a reception to offer a bride and groom their first challenge as a married couple. Because they're newlyweds, they might need some support from you guys. So I'm going to ask you to have I'm looking for you to hold as many guys as you possibly can from that office. And give them some support, guys. And say that that's part one of our challenge. Because they both had a hand each on the nozzle, it's then a draw, and we don't like those. So we need a new tie. So the tie break is the first person to take a drink out of the glass on the top usually goes on to the bottom.
I want to go and Stephen needs a round of applause for being a little bit. Okay, and we'll cut the date in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's enough of knowledge.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Again, if I can ask those who can to be upstanding, this time, bottle of beer, glass of fizz, fruit shoot in hand. And it gives me great pleasure to announce the first toast of today. So, on behalf of yourselves, myself, the staff and management here at Smmmwdashjtsttt, we would like to wish Michelle and Stephen health, wealth, but more especially many years of happiness. To the bride and groom, Michelle and Stephen. And if I can ask you to remain upstanding to welcome your bride and groom to the top table. Ladies and gents, it comes to the time of day that a few people on the top table have been looking forward to. So, our first speaker for today is a man who's usually behind the scenes and the upcoming wedding. You get told where to go, what to do, what to wear, and no, Stephen, I'm not talking about you. Our first speaker for today is Adam, the father of the bride.
Right, okay. Well, I gathered here today because we can't make it tomorrow, it's too dear for tomorrow, so we made it today instead. Listen, you get through it by watch him. So I'm going to start to introduce my family, first of all, because they travel so far. I like to have their names out as they come along here. So I'm going to go far away first, and I work down to nearer. So the farthest away was Jim Nichol from Phoenix, Arizona. We've got Ron and Christine Priscilla from Houston, Texas. And Nick as well from Priscilla as well, from Texas. We've also got, I've got Stephanie and Tommy from Texas as well. Sorry, I've got this. Okay. We've got Jackie and Royston from Norwich. We've got Kevin and Christine Murphy and the family from Dublin. And from Bangor, we've got the Peacocks, the Fives and the Mills. And we've got Lorna and family from Dunfermline. And also all my friends as well. But at last I'm going to say about Stephen's gran, Netta. She's here today, she's 91, didn't want to miss her oldest grandson's wedding. And her friend with her as well, she's 91, she's from Houston, sends herself. There you go. So I'm going to tell my beautiful daughter. Michelle's so kind, generous, and can always rely on her. I'm going to tell you a few stories about her. So I'm a painter decorator, and Joyce has been working, and I have to take Michelle to some of the estimates. After this, I never took her again. So we took her one time to this estimate, this woman, this lovely fur rug, and Michelle's about 6, and I could see her eyeing up with a rug, and she said to me, Dad, have you a rug there? I went, no, I see it. Be quiet, Michelle. Talk to me here. So I talked to everyone, and I looked round, and Michelle's on the rug, rolling about, and I'm saying, get up, Michelle, get up. And she's going, what's wrong? I went, you don't do that in people's houses. So after that, I left her in the van. I didn't mess with it. She was a perfect student in primary school. Then she went to the secondary school. And she had a lovely friend. I know what to name her. I'll just call her Kirsten Drummond Willie. Anyway, the two of them decided to dog school. And the school phoned me. So I went looking for them. Charlotte Gallagher. All around the village, into Bridgewere, back into Houston. I caught a glimpse of her on the bus. So I chased after the bus in my van. And she's on the bus with her friend saying, go faster, go faster. And the driver says, I can't, he's pulled in front of us. So I pulled in front of the bus. And I watched on the bus and I said, you girl, off the bus. And you as well, Kirsten, off you come. So I took him back to school. She says, oh, Dad, you didn't shop me, did you? I said, Michelle, they know, they phoned me. So then she's in the house one time, I got a new car. And she just showed it off. So we got another new car. So a week later, we're sitting in the house. A chap comes to the door. Next door is the neighbour's father. And he says, excuse me, who's that wee car out there? Oh, that's my daughter's. And he says, I've just hit it, I've just crashed the whole side in. I says, Michelle, come and see this man here. See what he's done to your car. She comes out and she splashed all the side of the car in that. And the man's getting out his hands. Michelle goes, that's okay. Puts a hand out and shakes his hand. I just walked away with this. Get me? So, we were boyfriends. She had a lot of frogs, I can tell you. Big ugly frogs that I had to, you know, I thought it was a pony she was bringing home to me, rather than boyfriends. Anyway, I told her, when she met, when she managed to marry, I would know who he was and I would tell her. So, she phoned me one night and she said, I'm going to take you for a meal. And my boyfriend does. So I went out for a meal, Stephen there, and Michelle. So sitting for dinner, after the main course, I knew that was her husband. I asked him a few questions. What do you do? My bank manager. Good start. What team do you support? Rangers. Is that goer? You know what I mean? So I gave her approval, and that's my daughter Michelle. I've always loved her and I always will love her. And I think she's beautiful today. She had a lot of qualifications. When after school she decided to do acting performing. I knew she could act. So she went, no problem, she sailed through that, no bother. After she finished that, she says, Dad, I don't want to be an actor now. All right, what do you do now? I'll be a paralegal. So she went, got a degree in paralegal as well. Flying colours with that. And then her and Stephen started to have babies. So the first one was wee Caleb. And then we had Jacob. After this, she had a serious heart scare. And that was the most worrying time as a parent. It was COVID time. And she was taken away from me for 3 weeks. She was in the hospital. I thought she was going to die. But I didn't need to worry because my man Stephen had her back all the time. And you get through life, it's okay when things are going good, but when things are down, that's when it counts. And that man stood up. I couldn't think of a better person to be with my daughter. So when I first met Stephen, a bit nervous. He was talking about holidays to me. He said, oh, where'd you go on holiday? I said, Tenerife. He said, how was it? I said, the first week wasn't very good, Stephen, but the second week was really good. He said, how long did you go for? I said, yeah, it was a fortnight, Stephen. So he came in this night, and a few drinks in him. He's up to the toilet, and the hall was darkness, so he's in the toilet. He couldn't find the light. I said, it's a pull cord, Stephen. Give it a good yank. So he goes in there, and he pulls the cord, and next thing you hear, I thought the ceiling had crashed down on top of him. So I wondered what it was. Opened the door. He'd on a hoodie. You know the wee tie in the hood? He'd actually pulled his hoodie and pulled himself to the floor. So, anyway, I'm glad to hand over to Stephen because, as far as I'm concerned, you couldn't get a better man. Okay? So, let's for a drink to the bride and groom. Michelle and Stephen. That'll do. Okay? There you go. Oh, there you go, thank you.
Another big applause for Adam.
Thank you. You like it? Thank you.
The next speaker is Father of the Groom. Billy wants to see him first.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it may not be usual for the groom's father to speak, so I'll make it short and sweet. As you can see, on a serious note, I would like to say that on behalf of Nanai and Di, myself would both like to officially welcome Michelle into our family. Poor Michelle. You're stuck with us now. We have known Michelle for quite a few years now, and she's a great girl. A fantastic mother to her lovely grandsons Caleb and Jacob. And I know she will be a great wife to Stephen as well. So please join me in a toast to our daughter-in-law, Michelle. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, thanks.
Our next speaker for today is the man of the moment, our groom, Stephen.
Okay, so on behalf of my wife and I, that's quite good. I'd like to thank you all for coming and be part of our special day. Michelle, you're absolutely beautiful, and when you came down that aisle, you just took my breath away. You're laughing at. There's no one else I'd rather call my wife. Now, I did say thanks for coming to our day. What I really should have said is thanks for coming to Michelle's big party. Right? Because that's what it is. Don't be fooled the fact there was two names in the invite. Right? It was Michelle's party. In fact, at times, I wasn't sure I was even getting an invite. But no, you've done an amazing job. You've planned everything down to a T. You know, the venue, the harpist, the table plan, everything. You've done an absolutely amazing job. I only had two jobs. First one was the table names, which I'm sure went down well with some and not so well with the others. And the second job was to say yes to everything else. I realised early doors, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but guys, you'll know what I'm talking about, right? She said, I can't say, I'm thinking about this colour or this thing or whatever it was, and I goes, well, what about, and I got, well, again, guys, you'll know, the look. No. You've just got to shut up, know your role, and shut your mouth and say yes. So I did. So yeah, pretty much a yes man. But yeah, you've done an amazing job. You got everything right, especially your choice of husband. I mean, as I said, everything's gone brilliant today. It's gone better than a wedding I was at about a year ago. Somebody that was quite involved in the wedding, you know, they turned up drunk, looked as if they'd been dragged through a bush, swearing, and actually during the service, you know, made a pass on one of the bridesmaids. And I mean, you'd expect more from a priest. But anyway, back to today. I just want to say, look at my two little dudes here, Caleb and Jacob. Are they not just the most amazing, handsome dudes? I almost had to ground them for trying to upstage the bride. But I think you've done all right, Michelle. You two are just the most amazing kids. We couldn't ask for anything better. Caleb, you're just so clever with all your little numbers and sums that you give us. And recently you were in hospital, but you've just showed so much resilience to get on with it. When you were 2, you broke your leg, and a day or so later, you weren't letting it stop you. You were down on the ground. You were making sure you could, still play. You're just a great little dude.
Thanks, Caleb.
Jacob, my little crazy dude. You're actually just the funniest little guy. Sit down, wee man, right? As I was about to say, with all the funny... Right, just for a minute. As I was about to say, you're so funny with all the funny things and crazy faces and that you do. He's just honestly brightens me up. And I said, when Caleb was in hospital, I just needed brightening up, and this little dude did it for me. A couple of weeks ago, we actually went out. I went out for lunch with Martin, Stuart, and Tam, and the two boys. And Jacob had decided, I don't know where he'd heard this from, because it's certainly not something I'd come out with, to start saying, "Hey babe, hey babe," to everyone. That's exactly what he said. So we're sitting at the table, and he's like, "Hey babe, Tam, hey babe, Martin, hey babe, Stuart," like that. And I don't know what was funnier, him doing it, or how awkward they were with a 5-year-old boy saying "hey babe" to them. But yeah, the two of yous, we just love you so much. Now, just want to call out a few people that are here, and Adam's already brought it up, but my wee gran, 91 years old. It's an absolute honour to have you here today, and I've had you in my life for 38 years, and we all love you to bits. Martin, Stuart and Tam, thanks for being good friends over the years and helping out today. I'll leave it at that because I might not be thanking you later after the next speech, so we'll hope for the best. Michelle's bridesmaids today, all you look absolutely gorgeous. Can we get a wee clap from Michelle's bridesmaids? Thank you so much for being there and looking after my wife. Sounds still weird saying that, but thanks for looking after her today and getting her there a wee bit late. For a change. I know. But yeah, as already kind of been said, but you have come from far and wide to support Michelle today and be here for her. Steffi coming all the way from Texas. And Christine coming all the way from Dublin. And Caroline all the way from Paisley. But I'm actually glad you got in today because I was sure the Small Hydro would have a no Paisley rule. But we got you in, so that's all right. Adam and Joyce, I just want to say, from day one, you have welcomed me into your family, and thank you so much for that. Adam, countless football tickets over the years, which is great that you've given up your season ticket now. Have to pay for them now. And everybody heard how tight I am. But yeah, thank you so much. And Joyce, you're always there whenever we need you. Nothing's too much for you, and again, you've made me feel part of the family, so thank you so much. Mum, biggest compliment I can give you? Look what you raised. But no, love you and appreciate you, everything you've done. Now, for people that know me, know that I've never really been close to my dad. So, growing up, I really needed a strong male role model in my life. So, I'd like to thank Walter Smith. But no, Billy, obviously, not being compared to Walter Smith's not bad. So, yes, thank you for being there for me and for everything over the years. And for doing all the house, not the house, we'll say all the housework, no that's not right, all the handiwork in our house whenever something breaks. Billy, can you help us? Anything? So anyway, yes, so back in 2015, I had a bachelor pad up in Glasgow, shared with my friends, absolute dive, but it was our dive. I was out partying every weekend, holidays to Magaluf, weekends away with my friends. What a life it was. Then I met Michelle. And life completely changed. So instead of doing everything for myself, my enjoyment in life was putting a smile on your face. From that first moment we met, everything just clicked into place. And as I said, instead of planning my next boys' trip, I was planning a future with you. It's amazing to think we actually grew up so close to each other and didn't even know who each other were, although you were friends with my sister. All those years, walking past each other and not bothering. Now I can't get rid of you and all you do is bother. There's a line in a song, it's in the song Have You Ever Been in Love, which says, because with her you can be true and with her you can be you. And that's probably like the most important thing in like a relationship for me. If you can't be yourself or you need to pretend to be someone else, then it's just not going to work. And I can fully be myself with you, Michelle, and you love and appreciate me for the weirdo I am. I mean, what other girl, right, would want a guy whose favourite music acts are Spice Girls and Take That? Whose favourite colour of clothes to wear is pink? Whose favourite TV programmes are Neighbours, Coronation Street and Love Island? And somebody who drinks rosy wine and woo-woos. Right? Actually, I'm starting to question myself now. But thankfully, Michelle doesn't question me, and that's what it's all about, finding somebody you can be yourself with. So Michelle, please don't see sense, because see if I had to try and find someone else, how's anyone going to accept this? Right? And actually, as I said, if I did have to find someone else, the worst part is, I think my application for Love Island would get rejected. Now, after being with Michelle for a couple of months, I went on holiday with one of her bridesmaids. My sister, of course, nothing like dodgy. Yeah. And I remember we sat in a wee bar in Tenerife, and there was a comedian performing, and you said to me, and this is only about 3 months into our relationship, do you think you'll marry Michelle? And now you expected me to do my usual, nah, she'd be lucky. And she is lucky, right? But actually I came with, yes, and I knew straight away, I knew 3 months or so it was into a relationship, that however many years it would be, 8, we'd be standing here, well maybe not, didn't over here, but in this position. I 100% knew that she was a keeper when Kate... Is this your speech?
On that holiday as well, did you not cry enough tears that you were missing Michelle, that you filled up every single swimming pool?
Obviously.
Yes,
Obviously. So as I said, I 100% knew that Michelle was a keeper. I mean, I already knew before then, but when Caleb was born, you know where this is going. Yeah. After a few days in hospital, it was time for her and Caleb to come home. So I went in, went to put something in the bag we were taking home. Michelle gave me that look. Stop it, Stephen. But I didn't listen, because I rarely do. Opened it up, and in the bag was nappies, milk, wipes, cream, and even a jug. The hospital cupboard was bare. She had literally taken everything. At that point I thought, she's as tight as me! Yes! No wonder we clicked, though. As I say, it's rare to find someone that's that we just get on so well. We find the same things funny. We like the same TV programmes. I've even managed to get to the Ibrox a couple of times. However, there's 2 main differences between us. One of us is a lot more chilled out than the other, and one of us can cook. Michelle has only cooked for me twice in 8.5 years that we've been together. Well, I say that, right? The first time she cooked for me, we'd only been seeing each other a couple of weeks, and this was the first time I went to her flat. So I went in and she'd made fajitas. Now, I love fajitas. Who doesn't? You know, they're fantastic. Nicely cooked chicken, peppers, onions, the lot. Beautiful feast. She told me she spent the afternoon making them, and all we had to do was heat them up. So I'm on to a winner, somebody making me cracking fajitas. Second time she cooked for me was a couple of weeks later. She was obviously getting a bit more comfortable with me and maybe not as eager to impress. So she says, tell you what, I'll make turkey dinosaurs and garlic bread. Dinner fit for a king, right? We laugh, but who doesn't want turkey dinosaurs and garlic bread? 99% of the time, turkey dinosaurs and garlic bread is brilliant. This was 1% of the time. How can you get that wrong? So the dinosaurs were half cooked, still cold in the middle, and the garlic bread had been cooked in and melted into the foil package that it came in. Something didn't add up. How can you go from amazing fajitas to disgusting ruined turkey dinos and garlic bread? So I think after 8.5 years, it's finally time to say, thanks for the fajitas, Joyce. Back in 2021, as it's been said a few times, Michelle had her heart attacks and things were obviously quite tough and everything got kind of put into jeopardy. It's been a long way back and her health isn't where it should be yet, but every day she still battles through, and I'm so proud, honestly, of how you fight and the effort you put in to be the best mum for those two boys, and I honestly can't say how amazing you are, and the boys too. We appreciate everything that you do. So yeah, things were tough at that point, and I kept saying to her, Michelle, there's an important day in 2023 that we need to get to. We just have to get you fit so this can happen, you know. And that important day finally came. This stag do. It was a great weekend I had. Thanks, boys, for everything. Loved every minute of it. Even been sick for a full day, and also been dressed up as Jerry from the Spice Girls with my wee Union Jack dress. Which, if there's enough requests later, I might go up and change in. I won't go in anymore, I've probably bored you enough. But I just want, as I said in my vows, Michelle, everything I do going forward is for you and the boys. Nothing will ever be too much. Anything you want or need, I'll be there for you. I just want to say thank you for saying yes. Make me the happiest man on the planet today. And can everybody please raise a glass for my beautiful wife, Michelle McNeil. Thank you. Over there. Caleb and Jacob, can you come here a minute? Boys, look, can you go over and get... Whoa! Can you go over and get the flowers and give... We've got a wee gift. So, this is for the grands, isn't it? To say we love you and appreciate you.
Another round of applause for us.
All right.
Our next speaker for today is our best man, Stuart.
Good start. Right, this is the last time for my phone to die, but here we go. Right, everyone, my name's Stuart. I'm part of the best man team. But I've lost set the expectation already. I'm not a comedian. You will only laugh, right? There's a couple of plants in the crowd here already, but if they laugh, just take their lead, okay? So I first met Stephen at a wrestling show in Glasgow. Now, by hearing that, you would think we were kids. Sad to report, we weren't. We were fully grown adults. We should have known better, but we didn't. And for some reason, Stephen took a shine to me. I must also point out at that time, I did have hair. I'm not going to say there's a correlation between being friends with Stephen and me having no hair, but I'll leave that to your own imagination. Very quickly I found out that Stephen was a very loyal friend, someone that was always in hand to give advice, he was always there to joke and have a laugh with. It was also somewhat impressive, you might say, that he was able to recite from memory The Little Mermaid and any number of Disney films that you can think of. And I very quickly found out that his ideal of heaven was an eternal holiday in Magaluf. Now, for the Americans in the audience, I will set the expectation here that Magaluf is like Tijuana, but not as classy. Stephen also had a somewhat unhealthy obsession with a certain footballer called Steven Gerrard. I didn't know he was going to name a table after him today, but that is what it is. In one of our many adventures, we ventured down to Liverpool to see the Steven Gerrard testimonial. Don't ask me why. But when we got there and we booked into the homeless hostel that Stephen booked us into, we went to the game, had a fantastic day, and we were coming back to the hotel. We seen a lot of commotion at a hotel, not ours, another fancier hotel, and we seen Mr. Gerrard himself getting ready to go into a car for the night out. With Mr. McNeil, not as quick as a flash, run across that car park with a carrier bag of cans, a phone in one hand, shouting, "Stephen! Stephen!" The security guards bundled Mr. Gerrard into that car as quick as you could say, "Who is this?" and shot away into the Liverpool night. It was also through Stephen that I met Tam and Martin, two very good friends. There was another guy we hung about with, but I can't quite remember his name, and we'll say no more. It was always great nights we had out together, and through Stephen taking me on these nights out, he got me out of my shell. At the time I was a awkward, somewhat, yeah, exactly, a socially awkward kind of guy. I'm not quite as socially awkward now, but I'm still a wee bit bad. But one of those nights that I found my now wife Nicole, Stephen walked onto the dance floor to see me and Nicole have an awkward conversation and my horrendous attempt at chatting up. And lo and behold, Stephen, forever my wingman, would step in and save the day, and the rest is, as they say, it's history. Thank you. To being married, right. The then time came for Stephen to tell us, break the news, some would say, that he's found a girl, and her name is Michelle. And I might actually say, Michelle, I've not had a chance to say yet, but you look fantastic. You look absolutely beautiful, so congratulations. They both seemed really suited together. Michelle found him funny for some reason, but they were inseparable from that moment on. And when Stephen then told us, again, broke the news that he was expecting a little boy called Caleb, which he's right there. No, he's not, he's over there. We certainly knew that was it. They were going to be together forever. And there was absolutely no question in anyone's mind that Stephen was going to be a fantastic dad. Then he brought the news he was having another boy, a boy called Jacob. And by that point he was already a natural born father. And where some men crumble having one child, Stephen excelled at having two. And he's gave himself no end of credit to how fantastic a father he is. Yeah, that's a thank you here. In the short time that I've known Caleb and Jacob, it's been a pleasure watching them grow up. And Caleb, I can see his mum and dad's calmness and their composure. And in Jacob, I can see his mum and dad's wildness and excitability. But he's the yin to the yang. But they do a fantastic job together, rearing those two boys. They're an absolute credit to you. Definitely are. Finally, I'd just like to say thank you so much for letting me be part of your special day. You were right by my side when it was my turn to tie the knot. So thank you so much for letting me be part of your day and standing by your side. And earlier on, I didn't know there was going to be advice given out to other people. Murray kind of stole my thunder a little bit. He stole the thing I was going to say, but it's okay. I've got plenty of wisdom in the 4 years I've been married. It's not that long, but it feels a lot longer. All I can say is, if any husband, no matter who they are, there's 2 words that they need to live by, 2 words that can get them out of any jam, and that's yes dear. If Michelle asks you, you've done the washing, yes dear. If Michelle asks you, you've put the dinner on, yes dear. And if Michelle's not happy with you, it's yes dear. If you remember those, you'll have no issues. So if everyone like to join me in a toast to the lovely couple, Steve and Michelle.
Our last speaker for today, which is Tom.
Hi all, I'm Tam, the backup to the best man, so the bestest man really. So I'd ask you all to bear with me because I've not really done anything like this before kind of thing, so it could go a few ways. Either it could be great and I'm asked to do it again at Stevie's next wedding, or it could go horrible and you're stuck with Stuart. I'd like to thank Stuart actually for covering quite a few of the main points there. You know, just Michelle, you look absolutely amazing, great day. It's like, bridesmaids, you all look great as well. Stevie, you'll do. I mean, you have done a great job with the hair dye this time though. Much improved. Stevie's done a wonderful job with his 3 kids. Sorry, 2 kids. He just looks after me every now and again. It's like last time I was wearing a kilt with him, he actually had to stick me on the train because I was that drunk I'd managed to fall over and flash half the bar. That could be a warning for later on, just so you know. It's 136 I'm staying on, Stevie, if you need to send me to my bed. I first met Stevie through work. So we were all at a night in the office and I felt kind of bad for him because he'd no pals. We had to wait a bit for things to get set up kind of thing, so we ended up going to the pub for a pint or 2. And we're all sitting there enjoying ourselves. He's sitting watching the telly, and he's staring away at it, and I realise he's watching the wrestling. And it's like, fair enough, I happened to notice like 1 or 2 of them, I knew who they were, so I says this to him, and all of a sudden his wee face lights up. He kind of clamped on to me the rest of the night. So it was after this, so we ended up becoming a local haunt for his drop in Glasgow. And it was ended up that night, Stevie decides he's going to invite me up the road to stay with him, purely because it was that snowing. The taxi driver said, "Oh, I can't get you up the road tonight." Stevie offers me a spare bed. I'm like, "Oh, this is great, thanks for that." He's such a great guy. A little bit frightened though at the same time that essentially a stranger is asking me up the road. But we're at his wedding, so fair play to him. We've been on a fair few trips over the years. Stevie was the first one who took me on my first lads holiday. When I say lads holiday, I mean me and Stevie for 2 weeks ourselves in Zante. But again, we're at his wedding, so fair play. No, Zante this time, it's a bit unusual. He got all excited though, phoned me up on the Friday night. I happened to be in a pub. And he's selling me the dream, telling me it's going to be amazing. Just the 2 of us. But anyway, one night when we were there in Zante, the powers went out in the area, so we went down to the bar though, rather than sitting in the dark ourselves. We were sitting at the bar, it was great and amazing. All the candles set up, bar's still going, beer's still cold, this is great. I'm up there getting around, next thing you know, oh here is, you deliberately disobeyed me, Simba. I turn round, Stevie sat in the middle of a crowd, shouting out Lion King impersonations at the top of his voice. So, Michelle, this is what you've got to look forward to the rest of your life. I'd also like to thank Martin, who's like the 3rd man in the best man group, who is obviously the most sensible one, because when Stevie asked him if he wanted to do a speech, he said, sorry, the polite version was no. He also, though, he did proofread our speeches for us, which was actually amazing help, because a lot of the stuff, when I wrote it down on paper, we kind of come across as assholes. It's like one of those ones, so when Stevie asked you to step up and save the wedding because Stuart was involved, sorry, it's like you did feel an initial sense of pride, but at the same time then, as soon as then you realise what you have to do, stand up in front of a whole group of people and say, oh great, here's my friend. He's a good guy, honest. It's like the nerves do set in, so you end up reaching out for help. So all I can say is thank you to ChatGTP. Anyway, that brings me to the end of my speech. All I was going to say is I want to raise a glass and toast to an incredible couple before us. Steve and Michelle, may your love continue to grow, your laughter never cease, your adventures together will be filled with joy and happiness. And here's to a lifetime of love, laughter for the newlyweds. Cheers. I might get steaming now.
Before you continue on with your dinner, I'm just going to draw your attention over to the table next to the bar. The guest book situated there, and Michelle's given a basket. You can take a moment during the day, whether it be during the meal or later on tonight, just to leave them a wee message. PG wins, of course. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day, and we'll get you on to them.